Welcome back to my Dev Web App channel. Today I'll solve and explain a CountUp React.js coding challenge. I faced this challenge during a technical interview. Let's take a look at the task. As you can see, I have a header, a num, and a button. When I press the button, the count is changing, and it is increasing by 1 each second. And I can pause. And when I refresh or start my application, the count is starting, and I can pause and then can run. Let's go to the code and solve our challenge. I launched my Visual Studio Code and opened React Interview Tasks project. And let me start project with command npm run dev. The project was created with Vite. And as you can see, I have previous task challenge. And let's add our CountUp challenge. Okay, and for that, I need one more component. And let it be CountUp JSX. And now I can export function, and let's name it CountUp. And initially return some JSX like div. And inside div we'll have header CountUp. And also we'll need some paragraph with num. For now it will be just text, and also we'll need button, and let's add run. Okay, and now we can import our component, import from CountUp, and provide our name. Okay, and let me just remove this and provide our CountUp and close. Okay, and let's take a look. And as you can see, we have header, we have num, and we have a run button. Okay, let's go to our component, and now we can add some state. Use state, and initially it will be 0, and this state I'm going to use for our num. And let me add const, and it will be just num, and function to change the state will be set num. Okay, and now we can provide this num inside our paragraph tag. Okay, and we need one more state variable for button, and let me add also use state. And initially I'm going to provide false, and I'll use boolean value to check if we have paused our counter or not. And let's just name it post, and also function will be set post. Okay, and now we can modify our button, and let's check if we have post. If we have post, then we can provide a run, and otherwise it would be post. Okay, and let's check what we have. And as you can see, we have initial count, and we can pause, and we need to add event handler to our button. Okay, and let's do it. And for that, I'm going to add onClick event, and let's add handle click function, const handle click, and I'll create an arrow function, and I'm going to set post, and based on the previous value, and let's check if we have pref, then we'll just invert it. Okay, and for that I can add my handle click event handler, and now let's check. Okay, I can press pause, and now I can press run. Pause and run. Okay, our button is working, and now we can implement the main functionality. And for that, I need useEffect hook, and inside useEffect, I'm going to add interval. And let's provide function to our interval, to our useEffect hook, and let's add that interval. And here inside interval, we need to provide function, and let's leave it empty for now. And we need to increase count every second, and I'll provide delay in 1 second. And after 1 second, I'm going to call my setNum, and based on the pref_num, I'm going to increase this value to 1 and return, and our setNum should increase it. Okay, and let's check what we have so far, and let me refresh, and as you can see, we have some increasing numbers, but these numbers are increasing very fast. Okay, and that's because I forgot to add empty array as dependency, because we need to call this useEffect only once after the component was mounted, and it was called every render. Okay, and let's check now. I can refresh, and let's see. And as you can see, I have increasing count, but that's because I'm in dev mode, and it's called twice. But it looks okay for now. Okay, and let's go back, and let's clear our interval. And for that, we need ID. I'm going to provide ID. And as you can see, I can clear it only inside useEffect, but I need to clear my interval inside handle_click. And for that, it would be good to use ref hook, and initially it would be null. But why we cannot use useState hook? And that's because our ID is needed only for our internal purpose, and ID is not affecting our UI view. And useState would be using useState would be a mistake here. And let me create some ref, and let it be interval ref, and we'll provide with useRef. And now we can store our ID inside our ref, and let me do it. And for interval ref and current, I'm going to store my ID, and now inside this handle_click, I can use it. And let's check if not post, then we can clear interval and provide our ref and current. One more thing that we can do is to clear our interval during return function from useEffect, and let's return also clear interval and provide our interval ref and current value with ID. And now let's check what we have so far, and I can refresh, and now I can press pause, and as you can see, our counter stopped, and but this function doesn't not work properly now, and let's fix it. And for that, we need to create some function, and let me create function start interval, and it would be also arrow function, and here I'm going just copy this code and call this function inside my useEffect, and inside handle_click I would call this start interval again, and we need some else statement, And let me close this. Okay. And now let's check our functionality. Let me refresh our page. And as you can see, we have counter, and now I can press pause. And as you can see, our timer stopped, and let's try to run it. Okay, and as you can see, we have a change in count, and now we can pause. And everything looks good, and let's check our code one more time. As you can see, we have start interval function that set interval, and we also return function to clear the interval in order to prevent memory leaks. And by handle click, we see if it's paused, then we just start interval. If it's not paused, then we clear interval and pause our counter. And also we change this state value. And that's all. Let's test one more time. I'm going to refresh the page. And as you can see, we have counter, and we can pause. And now we can run. And everything is working. And that's all that I have for today. If you like the video, subscribe to my Dev Web App channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.